You schedule a romantic dinner out that turns into
Okay.
a full blown content session.
That's a no-no. Yeah. I just see how much of an effort and sacrifice you put into it to make it what it is today.
Would you choose a woman that was a boss, or would you choose a woman that would prefer to lean completely into her home?
Find the right person that understands it.
So, do you think that ambitious women like me are really hard to love? Girl, I'm about bound to spill the tea today. So, yes, we have a guest. Welcome back to episode 12 of Conquer Conversations, where we talk about real women conquering big dreams. But today, me and Bay are sitting at the dining room table so that we can do this episode. I originally had this plan for Valentine's Day, but y'all know my daddy passed away on the 18th, so I'm getting back in my groove. But I got Bay here because I really want to talk about the idea of being super ambitious, but also being a super dope partner because that's something I really believe in. So, hi.
What's happening?
So, I think that this is our first piece of couples content.
It is. It is. Which is wild.
Crazy. I was always like, I don't want to do couples content because I think it's so corny. But I think that I don't know. I guess the reality is like you have a partner behind closed doors. So
Yeah.
okay, babe. Let's do a toast. We're gonna have a good episode.
Hey,
We're
here's a
gonna have to
good
loosen
episode.
up some. So
Yeah.
welcome, girl. Okay, so my goal with this episode is just to kind of go behind the scenes of us women who have a business because a lot of us have partners or we desire a partner. Like we've been married for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And so tell the people your name, tell them how long we've been together, and then just introduce yourself.
All right. What's happening, guys? I'm Lorenzo, of course, Deb's husband. Go by DJ Nothing Less, but we'll talk about that later. But more about me and you. We've
Mhm.
been dating since 2006.
So almost 20 years.
It'll be 20 years next year.
That's crazy. We've been together almost 20 years. And I think it's one of those things like to know you is to know me, and to know
Yeah,
me is to know you.
yeah.
That's how it is like in our real life.
Literally, like your better half. As cliche as it sounds, literally better
Yeah,
half.
right. To know one of us is to know the other person. But I think now, since we've evolved and we both got our own business, we're entrepreneurs. The people in our everyday life, they know us for real. But
Mm-hmm.
people may like see us online. They may see you, they may see me, but they don't realize like it's real deal, like partnership going on every day.
Absolutely.
Okay, so to loosen us up because we're like, I want to talk about. We're gonna do a segment called "Boss Moves" or "Hot Mess."
Okay.
And so, y'all, again, I really just want to kind of break through I guess, the wall when people they see somebody or woman that's like super ambitious online. I fear that that may be a stigma, and I guess I haven't really experienced this or heard it that they may be like super difficult to be with, or that what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about it, and I'm gonna use myself as a guinea pig for y'all. But I want to dive into a round of boss moves and hot mess just to kind of loosen us up some, y'all. And then y'all get a chance to learn more about Bay, who he is, more about our story. But I want to dive into this segment first.
Okay. It's crazy because I didn't start watching the episode. This is the first time really going through this.
Yeah. This is my first time doing this segment though.
Okay. Okay.
I got a new segment that I want to start, and this is one. So it's boss moves a hot mess. So I'm gonna go through and give you a couple of different scenarios, babe.
Okay.
And I want you to listen to the scenario. Okay.
Yeah.
And you'll say it's either a boss move, which is something that you support or agree on, or
Yeah.
you say it's a hot mess, meaning you disagree.
That's a no-no. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna use myself as an example
Let's
with these
go.
questions, okay? Okay. So I tell you I'm too busy to cook, but I still have time to record my day in the life reel. Is that a boss move or a hot mess?
Ain't no hot mess. That's a boss move.
Okay, tell me.
Because the thing is, it's kind of like when we put yourself in different kind of when you're doing full time entrepreneurship,
Mm-hmm.
you got different time slots when you're doing things.
Mm-hmm.
So you might be active by the time I come home from work by 9 to 5.
Okay, that's true.
So I already know that. So if you already got like clients already lined up, it's gonna be like a busy day or like a Tuesday, evening with the Conquer Club and stuff like that. I already know like, hey, babe, she gonna be busy with her clients and everything. So I can go ahead and whip something up, order something in,
Mm-hmm.
and by the time you get done, we already gonna have food here. So that's
Yeah.
a boss move for me.
Okay, that's a boss move. So let me ask you this. Is there ever a time when I should? Now, I like to cook. I'm the type of, I just like to cook anyway.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like, do you think there's a time where I should like, okay, put the laptop down or slow down the business, come in here, cook, chill, and just chill on all that? What you think?
Yeah. I mean, it's a time and a place for everything.
Okay.
It's just like with a 9 to 5. I can't be running myself down to the ground. You're gonna have to have some kind of time to escape. It'll like take your hat off. I always do a big thing where you gotta wear different kind of hats for different kind of situations.
Yeah.
If you wear that hat too long, you're gonna forget about the other hats.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I see it in moderation. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. 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 You schedule a romantic dinner out that turns into
Okay.
a full blown content session.
Uh,
I'm laughing because this is me. Oh my God. Is that a boss move or a hot mess?
so it's either or, it can't go in the middle.
Is it a boss move? Well, I think we can go in the middle.
All right. So
This
I'm
is a
gonna tell you.
good
I'm gonna
one.
tell you both scenarios
Okay, this is a good one to
because
talk about.
it's a boss move because that's what you do,
Right.
and you got to put out the content.
Yeah.
But it's a hot mess because like I've been playing this stuff. Let's say since past Tuesday, I didn't got the reservation together. I got the manager. I got the manager name and everything. He already know we're gonna come in, what time, everything set up, and then when you're doing content, it's kind of like it'll take away the experience. I have everything and imagine, man.
Mm.
I'm a big supporter,
Yeah.
but I gotta say that gonna be a high bet for me.
Ooh, okay.
Cause
That's
that's only,
real.
but yeah,
That's real.
because it's only because like it's going back what I said before. When you have certain times for each other,
Mhm.
and like I know this time is going to be solely just for us. I will have that expectations of you to
Mhm.
go ahead and realize this is going to be a big romantic night for us and everything. And it's nothing wrong like taking content and stuff like that. But if you revolve your whole night around the content, I don't know how much you're going to receive that night with me because who knows? I ain't gonna say like who knows next time we're gonna have the night,
Mhm.
but that could have been a night that we really was should have could have been focused on each other. And I got a busy
Yeah.
couple weeks,
That's
or you got
true.
a busy couple weeks.
That's true. Cause that happened. That'll happen where you be super busy, I'm super busy, and then we got a good night out to just
Chill, yeah,
and imagine if I get lost in trying to take 60 pictures and it's like, oh my God. So, okay, I feel
yeah,
you on that. That's real. That's real. So, I guess the thing is with me and Lorenzo, we kind of dived in and just kind of jumped in. Girl, this whole idea of doing this type of content is so different, but we got to talk about it. So, y'all know, obviously, I own the business, but babe, you own the business too. So, tell my girls about what you do. You got your own business.
yeah.
You still work in sales and stuff. Just tell us a little bit about that. Tell the girls.
Okay, well, yeah, I do have a 9 to 5 and everything,
Yeah.
but just how things are nowadays, you can't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right.
So the first thing is finding something you like, what you're doing, and see what you can do into making it into a business.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I started my DJ business, DJ Nothing Less.
Mm-hmm.
I always say my slogan is I'm your entrepreneur's favorite DJ.
Yeah.
I chose that slogan because entrepreneurs is so much energy to put into your audience. You're doing conferences, or you really got this really big event. You already got the itinerary and everything down.
Yeah.
This could be your first time really just going out. You just really excited, and it's a thing where you need the extra help. You need the extra engagement for the crowd because it's your first time coming up. Or it could be a first time or the fifth time, but every time it's gonna be different. But you need that engagement from the crowd, let you know it's gonna be a good time.
Okay.
And that's what I come in at.
Got it. Tell us when did you start your business?
When I started my business, and it had to be in because this is year 3.
Okay.
This year of professionally, like this year 3 for me.
Okay.
So it had to be in 2022.
2022.
901, 2022.
Oh, that was the same year I did Conquer.
You did no, you did Conquer. It had to be the year before. Was it the year before? It wasn't 2020 though.
It wasn't 2020. I thought it was 20. It's 2021.
2021. Yeah. It
You
was the year
was
before.
DJing at my.
Well, that's what I'm saying professionally.
Okay, because I was going to say when I did that photo shoot in.
Yeah, but when you was doing it in Memphis and stuff like that.
Oh, in Memphis. I'm thinking about the one in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I wasn't.
You wasn't DJing then.
I was just dibble dabbing in it by that time, but it wasn't a official thing. That's what I was saying. Professionally,
yeah.
2022.
2022. Okay, so you started your business 2022. Now it's 2025. Tell us about some success you've conquered, and you better brag. Better brag.
I mean, I had clients outside the state. Flew out there. He had to celebrate his 40th birthday. He saw me on Instagram or internet, and he liked what I had. So, got the numbers together. It agreed with me, and I said, "Okay, let's go."
Yeah.
Also, last year I did Chef Festival. That's the celebrity chefs that you see on Food Network. They had their first festival here in Dallas, and they called me for that, and hey, we had a good time. I DJ different areas the whole event. It was a big event, but biggest thing takeaway was that I DJ'd at the VIP lounge.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people everybody the regular general admission people couldn't go in.
Yeah.
It's like VIP area. So
yeah.
It's been good. It's been good.
Yeah. Okay. That's just a little minor brag, but it's okay. I'm gonna let you have it. Okay. So the reason why I wanted to say that was because, and I need to loosen them some because I want to be real. I want to be honest. But the reason why I wanted to share that is because, like, sometimes our schedules get busy. Like, for real. To where it'll be like you got something Sunday, you home on Monday, you got some Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe home Thursday, and then some Friday and Saturday. And then I go live Monday, have Conquer Club Tuesday, off Wednesday, got calls Thursday, and I'm free Friday.
The days just run together like crazy.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to get a schedule going.
I agree with that. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I think you gotta be so intentional because me and you will say we'll be like, you'll ask me, or we'll do this. What you got today? What you got tomorrow? What you got tomorrow?
Yeah.
What you got tomorrow? What you ask each other?
Because we gotta know what kind of day it's gonna be. We gotta know what kind of day it's gonna be.
Nah, for real. That's why I was asking him yesterday. I was asking you. I was like, "You got gigs tomorrow? You got gigs tomorrow?" I was like, "Well, it's gonna be Friday night. We can kick it. We can get something to drink. We can get something good to eat, and I know we can kick it at home because you're a DJ. So Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday nights, all the nights we would normally be home or kicking it on a date night. That's when the folks be partying.
Yeah.
You know it. You out DJing.
Yeah.
So how is it? Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
How is it being married to somebody where I don't got to be out of the house like you do?
Mm-hmm.
But how is it being married to me when I truly have this whole other thing going on, this business and trying to, build Conquer and stuff? What you think about it?
So you saying like what I think about like just seeing you build Conquer and everything?
Yeah, let's go there. That's a good one.
I mean, it goes through like the trust and communication.
Mm-hmm.
Like I seen you put in the work.
Mm-hmm.
I seen you put in the work even when you had the 9 to 5,
Mm-hmm.
when you was going to different when you was flying out to Houston or San Antonio, you was in their hotels. At the end of the day, when you got done your 9 to 5, you was on the phone and stuff while you was over there working, just trying to come up with some kind of plan and execute it. So when I see you how hard you work in the background,
Mm-hmm.
it just lets me know that that's how that's how you want to elevate yourself,
Yeah.
and you treating this. This is your thing. This is your 9 to 5.
Yeah.
This is your 9 to 5. And
Yeah.
I just see how much of an effort and sacrifice you put into it to make it what it is today.
Yeah. I think that it is a big sacrifice,
It is, yeah,
but I love it. Like I love what I do. You love what you do. I'm glad that we said that. I want to do a few more boss moves or hot mess.
yeah. Come on.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. My online social media and career is booming,
Hmm.
but our marriage is a mess. Is that a boss move or a hot mess? I think I know the answer to this.
Yeah, that's a hot mess.
Hot mess. Let's talk about it. Because there be sometimes, and I ain't finna say, but sometimes, and you know this from being an entrepreneur,
Hmm.
where you really lean into your business and you like, oh my God, this is everything I wanted. And you looked up and like, oh crap, I forgot to do this one simple thing that I normally do in my marriage. All the time. Like, how did that even slip my mind?
Yeah.
So what you think?
I mean, the reason why I say it's a hot mess is because it going back to what I say with the hat thing.
Yeah.
So it's nothing wrong that you going all in on your entrepreneurship, because that's what you're supposed to do when you put in all the hard work and the sacrifices, and it's gonna be every day like a grind. So
Yeah.
I get that, but at the same time, when you're married, we as one. So it can't be just you doing all of that. It got to be us in some kind of shape or form of having some kind of time together.
Yeah, that's true.
We got to have some kind of time together, because at that point, I don't want to make it feel like you'll feel like it's a roommate here or something like that. You don't want to make it feel like it's a roommate. You want to make it feel like you're married, but Bay is working.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Because there's been times where it's like, yeah, Bay working, like Bay putting in that grind.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm here for that.
yeah. But
Yeah,
like I always say, like it's a thing where you grinding all the time, but I can just say, hey, I want to spend some time with you. You'll just close laptop and then we'll just do it just like that,
out there,
real quick.
out there. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Let's shift to something fun, something more lighthearted.
Come on with it. Come on.
Let's see here.
I'm trying to see if I can come up with a boss move or
Or hot mess for me.
yeah.
I gotta think of one.
Okay, okay. Hmm.
Because here's the
Okay,
thing.
let me do this. Let me say this.
Okay.
So is it a boss move or is it hot mess?
Okay.
All right, so I'm going on live DJing and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna be going in, and by this time it's probably like 12 o'clock or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You in the bed waiting on me to come and everything, and you just ready to have a good time with me. I'm still in the man cave or whatever, still DJing, and I go in there like, man, I'm tired. I'm going straight to sleep. Now, which one is that for you?
Oh, is that a boss move or a hot mess?
Yeah.
Baby, I don't know. That might be a hot mess to me. Hey, it depends on my time of the month. I mean, Ooh, okay. See, that's why I'm like, it's in the middle. Okay, I'm gonna say this. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, in our situation, it's a boss move.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is because me and you are in a season of mutual understanding
Yeah.
where we are grinding, like we're not parents yet, like we
Yeah.
putting in that work, we going on live, like we doing all of the things to make sure we can pop out.
Mm-hmm.
But we also have a boundary of when it's too much. But we ain't there. So, but if somebody doing that every night, I mean, it's still gonna be a boss move. That's a
Yeah.
tough one.
It's a tough one.
It's a tough one because the poison is always in the dose. So if you do
Mm-hmm.
that once a week, twice a week, no problem. Deal with it. We popping off, baby. It's
Yeah.
our time. But doing this 6, 7 nights,
Now
my
this is something we need to address. Yeah.
yeah. But that business is gonna be popping. But I guess it's gonna be popping. You're gonna be by yourself
Yeah.
for real. That was a good one
Appreciate it. I'm just trying to think of like different kind of scenarios.
because that's real.
Yeah.
When you're building your business, you have to do. It take a lot to do content and go live, and you don't just go live. You
It's
got
a
to set
lot.
up. You got to think about it. Like people in your house, and you sitting here with a ring camera just off in the room, just
Yeah.
you know. Dang.
So what you got for me?
Let me see.
Okay.
I guess we can get into our main topic, which our main topic is just more about this idea of a woman, which of course the ladies that listen to this, they are women entrepreneurs. I'm sure y'all have partners or desire partners. And let me know down in the comments, do you have a partner? Do you desire a partner? Like, is this a conversation that resonates with you where you're like, how do you balance it both? But I really want to get into the idea of how do I say this? I feel like, let me say this. I see this narrative being painted about women who have a business, so they're this, this boss babe personality.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times I don't resonate with it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. But sometimes I do.
Okay.
Because I see some behavior showing up and I'm like, I'm at home now. What do you feel like is the hardest part about being married to me when I'm in my zone? I'm locked in, I'm having an ideas, and I'm you know how I get where I'm just like, woo, everything is solution oriented. Like, what are some of the hard parts about that?
Uh, it's hard for me to explain on it because we both got a mutual understanding.
I feel that we
We both got a
do.
mutual understanding, so it's
Yeah.
kind of hard for me to think of like it's something difficult.
Yeah. I feel
Um,
that we
I know
do.
we already talked about it before, but it would be a thing where if I have, if I tell you like a week before, like, hey, I got something planned for us Wednesday. Next
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday, I got something for us.
Yeah.
And then like reservation is at 8 o'clock. And then you tell me that Wednesday, like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I got a consult at 7:30. I mean, yeah, I understand that that you need to go through that, but it'll be difficult for me because it'll be that time where I want to have that time with you.
Yeah.
And that's the time that I blocked off to have that time with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the same expectations that you'll do the same for me.
Yeah.
So if you don't, this why I see you get like a miscommunication. But like I said, we both got a mutual understanding. So
Mm-hmm.
it ain't nothing that I can just reschedule. Like, okay, we can just do another day.
Yeah.
So it's not as critical on our
Yeah.
part.
I think so too. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess because we'll always ask like, "What you got? What you got?" Like we like,
Yeah, because we've been together for so long.
yeah,
So
true.
it comes with it comes with us trusting one another.
Mhm.
It comes with communication. as cliche as it sounds, like
Yeah.
I say it again, like as cliche as it sounds,
Yeah.
trust and communication, that's what really help us stay together for so long and have that being on the same page.
Yeah, true.
So I mean, I know what your I know what your tendencies are. You know what my tendencies are,
Yeah.
and we're just on one accord.
Mm, that's good. That's good.
Hmm.
So, are there times where, because I'm building my business and I have to be, I don't want to say aggressive, but I'm going to say aggressive for lack of a better word,
Okay.
in the way that I'm doing strategy, and try to make these moves and do all of those things? Are there times when it kind of shows up when I'm trying to turn work off? And if so, what advice do you have for me to kind of like navigate through those moments or try to calm down to
So
just
it's
be
when your
present?
mind is kind of like,
Yeah.
I mean, it would have to be something like me taking initiative on something. So I'll be like, cut on the bath water and like, babe, I got the bath water set up.
Yeah.
I know they'll already kind of get you kind of like, ooh.
Nah, for real.
They'll
I ain't thinking
already,
about nothing no more.
yeah. So they'll
I'm
kind of
relaxed.
get you like that.
Yeah.
I'll bring in the little marble table we got with your laptop, so you can just sit back and watch your show, Madlock. Watch Madlock on
Yeah.
there. You know,
Ooh.
just
Yeah.
and just be in the presence with you, and you just while you woo-saw.
Yes, that's so good. You know
So
the thing?
I'll do that before we end the night.
Yeah. I love how, and I guess maybe shoot, I'm like, we don't do couples content, but I feel like
Uh,
we done had to learn so much about just how
Man,
to compliment the other person and just kind of naturally, because it'll be times where you've been out, man, night after night after night after night after night after night after night having a gig. And I'm like, let me make space for that. And that's it. There are no other expectations other than just kind of making space for the other person to just chill out.
yeah,
It ain't, but we done had to learn it too. But now since we here and like your business be thriving so much, like I know people like they see you DJing, but they don't realize like it's
it's
like
so much.
this.
Yeah,
It's like this. And it's not just the gigs, it's the practicing that you have to do, it's the research that you have to do, it's the networking that you have to do.
all
But
of that.
well, and I'm so here for it.
It's all of that, and and you touched up on and doing the right research. And so when you say research to me is me going out to my DJ friends, and
Mhm.
I gotta listen to what's going on, or what songs that playing, that getting everybody going and stuff. So
Mhm.
it'll be nice where I'm not DJing, but I still have to go out
Yeah.
to listen to them and understanding what songs is out that I know I need to start playing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So my research is different from your research.
Yeah. It's interesting when like having a business take up so much time.
Yeah, that's what I'm realizing,
Tell me more about that. You say you're realizing that.
because you know, like for me, like me, having my own business new to me. Even though
Okay.
I've been doing this like 3 years now, but it's still new to me because you know me. Like if you would have told me, like I would say like back in 2017, 2016 or something like that, that I have my own business and trying to doing something, I'm like, what, you crazy?
Yeah.
Because like for me, I'm like, I always been that person where I'm gonna be with this one job. I'm gonna be all the way there to like 45 or 50, then I'm gonna retire. This just how I always been brought up. But just seeing how you like blossom, and just seeing how you put in the work,
Yeah.
and seeing an idea, it's which is crazy to me. Like the fact that you can work a 9 to 5 and just have an idea, like I think I can do this, and then you looking it up, different kind of things and stuff like that, and you trying to figure it out while you still working 9 to 5, and something just clicked, and you like, you know what? I had my stay, thank you, but I'm gone.
Out of there.
That's that's that's
Crazy.
that's mind blowing to me, and like, I'm so proud of you, and I'm still trying to figure out, like, navigate the 9 to 5, because the thing is, going back to when I say with the hats, the 9 to 5 is when I come home about 4 or 5 from the day, I still have to have an hour of just like resting from me, all the stuff I had to deal with work before I even get into DJing stuff. And sometimes I think back and I be like, I don't even see how Deb can so locked in. When you be
Really?
coming home and you just go ahead and be locked in, and I'll wait till like 12 and 1, and you wake up in the morning, then go to work like nothing happened. Man, it's a different breed. I mean, but I'm trying to figure out how it works.
I
But
did used to do that.
yeah,
I did. I forgot about that. When I was working, I did used to come home and I don't I guess I remember a little bit, but I do remember being up late. But it
yeah,
was just like I didn't really have a choice.
yeah.
But you be putting in the work too.
No, I put in the work,
Yeah.
and I'm just real conservative on my end. I would just have to make sure all the ducks is in a row,
Yeah.
because me being like the man in the house,
Yeah.
like we got both different roles in the household and stuff like that. So I got to make sure I have this business where it's functioning right, but at the same time, I got to make sure I'm doing my thing right on the 9 to 5 and stuff, just making sure everything is good for us.
So you said we got different roles in the house.
We do,
That's good.
we do.
That's cool. Give us a little insight on what my role is here with you.
Okay. So we talked about it before, like, I control everything outside the house. You control everything on inside the house.
Ooh. Tell the girls what you mean.
Okay.
That is our thing that we say.
Yeah, that's the thing we say. So
Okay.
me taking care of everything on the outside is like, as far as the bills, but you have that too.
Yeah.
But far as like bills, the stuff that needs to be done, making sure the house is well kept up, far as like maintenance, stuff you won't even know, like stuff like the AC. Like, I gotta go up there in the attic, change the filter. I gotta make sure the cars oil change,
Yeah.
vehicle registrations. All of that kind of stuff that goes into it. But what your role is just whenever you get done with conquer, being the wife in the household, go ahead, just maintain the house and everything. Make sure we clean and everything, and just the inside of the house, and everything like that. But I think we got a good thing where
Yeah,
a
we
good
do.
mix of how we're doing, because
Yeah.
we always help each other out too.
Yeah.
We help each other out too.
That's true. So that's been our thing that we had to learn. And I guess if you listen, if you got a partner, I don't know if you ever heard of this concept before, but we have this thing where it's like, can we like play on our natural strengths? And this is why I was like, I don't want to do this old cringy relationship advice because I don't want to be telling people what they should do, But for
No,
us,
I understand.
it's like, okay, I like cooking. Like, I'm going to cook whether two folks in here, me here by myself, or 50 folks.
Yeah.
I like cooking. I like working from home. I like being at home during the day. I like getting up in the morning, opening up the windows and
Mm-hmm.
prancing around the house and making like that's my thing. And if I can wake up every day and do that and have a business that I love, I'm in heaven. Like for real. So his thing is like, okay, bet because I like providing. I like making sure that we live in a beautiful home
Mm-hmm.
and doing all these things and take care of outside of home. So we like
Yeah.
that's our thing. That's what we on.
That's the thing. I mean, but like, again, it takes time.
Yeah, true.
So it takes time, and it takes is that sit down with the significant other and just try to figure out what the roles are. Because
Yeah,
sometimes you just gotta lay it out, and so because it be so much of assumption, and when you assume things, it's a
that's
lot of
true. That's me.
miscommunication.
Yeah.
it's a lot of miscommunication. So why not just lay everything out? I was gonna say is like marriage is kind of like it's like a partnership, a business plan.
Yeah.
So just like you in the entrepreneurship and you got like a business plan, a young 1 year, 3 year, and 5 year, it's the same thing with a marriage. It's just different.
Yeah.
So you gotta have everything laid out.
I like
So it
when you
makes it.
talk like that.
I appreciate it.
I love it. Okay. I love it. That's good. So I'm just thinking, the ladies that are listening, do you think that you can balance both? Do you think you can truly balance this idea of saying, hey, hmm, maybe I can find a partnership with a man where we complement each other? I don't think that I don't want to get into the whole single ambitious woman thing. It have been talked about up and down,
Mm.
left and right. And me and Lorenzo be watching it. We do. And we have our own take on it. But my platform isn't for that. My content isn't for that. Because I'm not trying to tell a woman about her experience. I don't know about all that. I've been in a relationship for forever. So girl, I don't know. I don't know. You want to take you to Huey's for first date, Applebee's, coffee date, girl? I don't know what to tell you. Whatever you want to do. Okay? That's not what this is about.
He was a good restaurant.
Huey's is good. But I will say that I just want to give insight into what I'm experiencing when it comes to love and partnership and stuff. Because I don't feel like I'm having to choose between the two. I don't feel like I'm having to choose between having a business, having a partner. I will say this.
Okay.
I am, and this is my Conquer confession.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
I have a segment where I do Conquer confessions, where I talk about something personal that I've been dealing with and I put it out and I confess to y'all. Okay. So this is my Conquer confession. And if you have one, let me know.
Yeah, I got one.
You got one?
Yeah.
Wanna go first?
I go first.
Go ahead. What's your Conquer confession?
Okay. And this is something for the other viewers too. But the
Okay.
said Conquer Confessions
Yes.
is when you go viral, make sure you prepare for it, but you can't prepare going viral.
Ooh, so your
So
confession is
my confessions is if when you go have your business, I'm pretty sure everybody already had this, but I didn't know because I'm still, I was still going at the time going through it. But have all your contacts on your profile. Because when I went viral for the high school prom, got about 6 million views. It was people trying to reach out to me on TikTok. It was people trying to reach out to me. I ain't have my email out. I ain't have, I ain't have all that. It was just a generic post. I mean, it was just an organic post is what I mean.
Yeah.
And it just got so big. It got so big, and I just wish I was so prepared for that. But you can't prepare for that. That's the crazy thing about going viral is, well, to me, is the ones that you let's think about is the ones going viral. Yeah. Not the ones when I'm doing transitions and
Lord, I'm talking about being on CapCut 4 hours trying to get the video.
And I'm saying I'm trying to as far as like DJing, everything got to be crisp. Yeah. Like everything like transition in the mix when I do wordplay. Yeah. When I do mashups. Yeah. Like I do so much into that, and then once the mix is already done, then I go on CapCut, put the caption on or the name and stuff like that. Yeah. I probably have I had 500 views. what is good? Yeah. But me doing the prom and everybody swag surfing and I'm just having the camera, just pressing the camera on and then going like this. And then that one right there, that's go 6 million.
I'm talking about that joke went crazy viral.
It went
and then you had another one that went crazy viral. Then you had another one that went kind of semi-viral too.
I had a prom send off.
Yeah.
I think it was 170,000.
Yeah.
But that's the ones that it happens and you just press record. It's nothing that I practice into that. Yeah. So which is crazy. So
that's such a message though.
Just always have your contacts, have your email, have everything set up on all platforms. because you never know what's going to happen on those.
That's true. So your conquer confession is that you went viral and you didn't have your contact info there.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, okay. That song went crazy viral.
yeah, it
That
went
song
crazy.
went up.
Yeah,
That
we
went up.
went crazy.
So if you go on Bae's TikTok page, DJ Nothing Less, you can see a couple of his videos that went really viral.
It's less with LEST.
LEST, and I'll drop it down at the bottom.
What's yours?
My conquer confession, and it's going to kind of relate to the main topic tonight,
Okay.
is that we're not parents yet.
No.
And my confession is that I am so incredibly grateful that here I am in my early 30s and I have space to create this
Mm-hmm.
without the weight or burden of motherhood. And sometimes I feel a little guilty about it.
You feel guilty about it?
A little bit.
Okay.
And the reason why is because I'm like, just have the kid, like all the other stuff is gonna be there.
Mm-hmm. I see what you're saying, and I mean, one thing I would say is, we're in a different situation, but one thing is when you have a kid, we'll always adapt. That's one thing that we always had throughout our relationship is we always adapt.
That's true.
So I won't let that. I wouldn't want that to hinder you for one that's going through their journey and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely know that we're gonna adapt.
Yeah.
And you know me, I'm gonna make sure we have everything locked in from the head to toe, like
Yeah.
everything gonna go seamlessly.
Yeah.
So I'm the playing king when it comes to
Yes,
that.
you are.
I plan like times ahead before I even do anything.
That's
Because
true.
with you just kind of like, sure.
I'm like, whatever. Like today we're doing this. Okay. Tomorrow we move to Mexico.
I'm
Okay.
like, that's crazy. I'm like, I didn't know what the itinerary is, what's the main message is. I gotta know like what I'm getting into. But that what make us so good because we just so different though. A lot of people say it used to be like you was the balloon, I'm the anchor.
Yeah.
But it just we just got it where it works for both of us.
That's true.
We got it where it works for both of us.
That's true.
Yeah.
So okay, so that's good that you brought that up because I feel like we do compliment each other so good because
We do.
I am very like just whatever, let's go. Like if he was like, babe, let's just sell our house tomorrow and let's just go to Australia and just see what things are like, I would be like, okay,
that's wild.
let's go. Like I'm just so like I just love life. I love exploring stuff. And you have a level of adventure too that a lot of people don't get to experience, but I have had the pleasure of experiencing it.
Yeah.
Like when we was in Mexico that time, driving on the wrong side of the street.
Man, that was crazy. Man. Like, to be in another country and it's not the main language.
Bro, we cannot speak Spanish.
I mean, it got bad to the point we was trying to get some food from the locals. And I work in the construction industry. Only chicken Spanish word I know is pollo.
Pollo, you said pollo. That was in Puerto Rico.
Pollo. Yeah.
That was in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Baby, we was getting us some food, and we was in Puerto Rico for my 30th birthday. And baby, we smelled some food through the car. We pulled over. It was this older, maybe I'm saying like
cooking outside.
Man, this whole older Hispanic grandma, she cooking outside her house. She can smell so good. We were like, what now cooking? She speak no English or nothing. We in front of this lady like 4 pollo.
Man.
Cuatro pollo.
I tell you one thing. One thing we both, me and the other person understood is money exchange.
Okay. But what you said, I was
Man, we broke that language down.
I'm like, babe, pull up Google Translate and
Yeah.
tell her we want 4 chicken kebabs. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. Okay. I was saying that I think like I get a chance to see your adventure too, but you still are very like you make great decisions. That's always been my mantra with you. So
Yeah. And I give you the thing just so how adventurous you is.
yeah.
Cause it's one of those things that made me want to get into the DJing thing, and I'm like, dang, she just thought of this day. She just thought of this idea, and dang, she working at the house now. I'm like, let me try to see.
Yeah.
I was just DJing at first just to be doing it, just because I like to listen to, I like music and stuff like that. And I'm like, hey, maybe I can be at the house too. As crazy as it sounds,
Yeah.
I was like, just put that idea out. I'm over here thinking about, 401k, my pension, which I'm still gonna have, but it's just one of those things where it opened my eyes where I can't put all my eggs in one basket. So like we had a pandemic and I was really fortunate enough to be classified as essential worker.
Right.
Because it was one of those things where people getting laid off and stuff, but you had to be like essential worker. I was real fortunate to be one of those. But my job can't protect me forever.
Mm-hmm.
Or it can be a thing where it'll be a thing where I can be let go at any time or something like that, and I won't have nothing to fall back on.
Mm-hmm.
You hear those kind of stories from different people from time to time, but it really opened your eyes when the pandemic happened because and you had your own story around that time, but like on my end, I was getting calls from customers. They were saying, I don't have no job. I don't have nothing to feed my family. And I was like, man, I felt guilty about it. I'm like, I'm having a check in and I'm just feeling real comfortable. I know it's gonna come in the next 2 weeks and I feel for that person. But it just made me want to be for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and plan this right whenever the time do come to transition. But I want to have a good game plan set up. But at the end, I can't have all my eggs in one basket.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we talk about this, the idea of the generation before us, they didn't really see entrepreneurship the way we see it, and
Mm-hmm.
definitely don't see it the way that Gen X them see it,
Baby boomers.
and yeah, the baby boomers and stuff. So yeah, it's interesting.
It's very
It
interesting.
is, but I'm glad that me and you kind of like locked in to it. And I know the thing that I love about you so much is you always have like provision and like vision for us. Like, I know what we're working towards. I know what our goals are. I know where you want to spend money. I know where you want to trim money. I know like it's just the provision is clear. So
Yeah.
I just kind of wake up and do my thing, but it's still within the umbrella of like what you have planned for us. Like you told me earlier, you was like, hey, we need to get back on track with, the stuff with Adam with like our taxes and CPA and stuff like, hey, we need to make that a priority right now. So it's just like, all right, we're making it a priority.
Mm-hmm.
So I love it. That's the type of I think that's the type when we talk about the whole message of a woman being super ambitious and I got this business and I gotta do all this content and all of that smoke and mirrors and stuff. But at home, I get to come under your covering. I get to like take all that off, So
How that feels for you?
ooh, that's a good question. It feels lovely. I think at the core of no matter how hard I try to act, what you always say, I'm soft underneath.
My, you my Reese's. You got this hard chocolate on the outside, but inside you peanut butter.
Yeah. 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 And it is like I be like, I wanna lay and cuddle, So but I'm ready for that. We both be like that with each other. We be like,
Yeah,
okay, I'm done with all that hard business stuff.
yeah, because because like when I talk to customers on my 9 to 5, I have a different conversation and
Yeah.
it's a different mindset when I talk to them. But with you, it'd be like, hey, you're the only person I'm really soft with. You're the only person really I'm soft with, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but they just shout out to you. Shout out to you. It's just one of those things where I want to make sure we both good in that household. 'Cause that's the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
With all the 9 to 5s, entrepreneurship, and the business and everything, at the end of the day, we all got to be in the same household.
That's true. That's true. I think. Okay, I'll shift gears. We'll do one more thing, and then we'll kind of wrap up on something lighthearted and fun.
Oh,
But we've been together for a really long time. In the last episode I did, I talked about losing my dad.
okay,
And
yeah.
you were there, obviously. I talked about the pivotal moment when, I had a very layered relationship with my dad. My
Hmm.
dad passed away. And you were the only person that was with me when I truly experienced like the grief and the loss of him for the first time when I saw him
Yeah.
in the casket. And I think that like when I think back on him, like thank God you was there. And then two, me and you have always had both parents. And so we always was like, well, one of us gonna lose a parent. Like we gotta walk each other through that. And so it was my dad that was our first loss. And so then we have business, like you got a business, you work, I have a business, and then we navigate losing one of our parents. So even in that moment, watching me through that, taking pause from work, getting back to work, where are you with that? Can you just kind of like tell us what it was like to navigate that with me?
I mean, it was difficult because I knew that was your first time losing someone. I have a big family. My parents got my mom got 14 brothers and sisters. My dad got 12 brothers and sisters. So I already experienced like three deaths of my uncle and aunties on my mom's side.
Mhm.
So I knew it was gonna be hard for you. So I kind of like when it was coming because you was already in Memphis at that time and at the hospital and everything, you were just seeing how he's gonna go.
Mhm.
I was here mentally preparing myself for you
Mhm.
because you know when it did happen, by that time I had already had conversations with my boss and everything, so I already had the days off, and that way we can go ahead and go there.
Mhm.
And like I was just being mentally that strength for you
Mhm.
because we can't always be at 100. We always gonna have a time when we're gonna be real vulnerable, and that's when the other person needs to come through.
Yeah.
So while you was over there in Memphis, like I was just mentally preparing myself and I love your dad. He was a really sweet person, and it was just one of those things where I just want to be there for you, and I just want to be there for you. And I know he was so proud of you.
Mhm.
It was one of those things where every morning he will say good morning to you on Facebook.
Yeah.
I mean, me and him always used to try to figure out who's gonna like your picture first. I
Yeah.
mean, but I had to be that had that mental strength for you. I had to be there for you.
Yeah. As a man, so when you have to step up and do that because you're the backbone of the family,
Hmm.
how do you then circle around and make sure that you're okay?
That's a good question because as men, it's not really taught that way, and like everybody have a different childhood and stuff like that. And like I had both parents in my childhood, just like you did, and it was like, but I was never taught how to express my emotions. And we do a thing where when I feel vulnerable and stuff, and I be like, I hate crying. I don't like crying at all. I don't know. I just don't like crying because it made me feel vulnerable and stuff like that. But it's tough because you have to understand you have to go through it. You have to go through it. But each time I'm feeling vulnerable, it ain't like you get stronger when you feel vulnerable, but I feel better because I have you with me.
Mhm.
So when I was feeling vulnerable, didn't like it, I felt like I didn't have nobody. But as it comes with us having conversation and having that trust in one another,
Mhm.
I know you're gonna be there for me.
Mhm.
So when it comes to your dad, when he had his past, and I had to have that time for me to think about and just kind of go through the emotions. What really helped me was when we was at the funeral, me being the pallbearer, me having me be able to lift the casket along with the other men, and just kind of like processing everything with them, and just going over to the cemetery and stuff like that, and just processing there. It had me that time to kind of like mentally get myself together because I had to be among other men to kind of like lift me up and get my strength up.
Yeah.
So I kind of pick and choose when I have to do it, but when I felt this that moment, that's when I had to. That's when I felt it.
Yeah. It was very heavy. And it was
Yeah,
it's one of those moments where it's one of those moments where as a wife, I'm like, when I say thank God for you, oh my God, like I would have lost my mind.
yeah,
But yeah, it's a lot of everyday life that happened. And I feel like even when we do this, we've been talking for almost hours, we don't even scratch the surface on what it's like to navigate life together.
yeah. I mean, because like you said, that's one of our parents gone, and then like
Yep.
it put everything into a different perspective. I
Facts.
always have a hard word with it,
Yeah.
but it just always put us in a hard time because it's like, and it's because it's the same thing with entrepreneurship. Is just like with this 9 to 5, like we work so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Or what we trying to get at? We're working so hard to be financially comfortable and stuff like that, but when you working so hard, I don't know. It's no duration for that. It's not going to be a time where you can just sit back and like, okay, good.
Right.
It's always going to be something.
More.
It's always going to be more and more. And like, I'm still trying to figure out, like, I want to have that time with our parents because they're getting older. You know, um, our grandmothers, both of them in 90s. They not moving like they used to move. They not hollering like they used to holler.
Facts
I
is
know my
true.
grandma, she ain't pulling that switch on me like she used to. So it's just like
It's real.
it's yeah, and it's just like how many times we want to just go down and like, man, I really want to make sure our parents are well cared for. Cause in the ideal world, that's what it's for. Like you get to the point where your parents raise us. I mean, our parents raise us, and when they get old, it's our time to take care of them.
Yeah.
So at least we're gracious to the fact that we're financially stable enough. Like when they need help, we'll come there and we'll arrive there.
Yeah.
But um, when you be grinding for so long, it's like you miss it. You miss
Ooh,
you
that's
miss
so
those
real.
things.
Man, that's the realest thing we could talk about.
Yeah,
Like, that's the realest thing we could talk about. And that's such a battle
it is a battle.
because going to the top requires an unnatural level of sacrifice,
Unnatural.
unfair level of sacrifice, and a very selfish level of sacrifice that you have to do to like be great. Like to be truly great, the sacrifice is major.
Yeah, and like it's one of
Oh,
those things that frightens me because when we have a kid and stuff like that, and then we're
mm,
like, are we gonna be still gonna be grinding? Because it's
yeah.
gonna be a thing where I want to be there when when our child have their first steps and first speaking. But what if I have a gig or something like that, or what if I'm doing like a 3-day conference and I have to put all my mind into that? I mean,
Ooh,
there's
that's
some
real.
things you just don't prepare for.
That's real. Yeah.
But you know, that's where we have to learn how to adapt and everything. So I think we're gonna be good. We're gonna
Yeah.
figure it out. Whatever it
Yeah.
is, we're gonna figure it out because that's always how we been. We're gonna
Yeah.
figure out like you when I'm in the middle of the gig, mixing or something like that, the baby getting up and walking, you can FaceTime me and or screen record or something. But we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I
Ooh,
just
that's
want to get to
real.
that point where you want to be there for your family.
Yeah.
You want to be there for them.
You brought up so many things that we could do a whole spiel
Man,
on with this, which is this idea of parents are getting older, family is there, but the grind requires you to be in the future, think about the future, plan for the future, seize the opportunities. That the reality is you're gonna miss out on a lot.
yeah.
And the reality is that sometimes you're gonna be so like submerged into the grind that you don't call them aunties like you're supposed to. You don't pick up those phone calls like you're supposed to because they call when you was in the middle of the thing you've been looking forward to all week.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me. Like that's just the truth. Like it's a Friday. I'm not thinking about, oh, let me touch base with such and such. I ain't heard from all week. I'm thinking, okay, I gotta do follow-ups. When Lorenzo come home, I'll make sure I order something to eat. Then when I do that, I'm gonna take me a shower. Then I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go ahead and do this live stream. And I'm gonna finally take my medicine for my wisdom tooth and go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You're just thinking through the grind and getting through the day and making sure the house okay. And you look up and you're like, dang, I ain't even called my such and such in forever. And
Mm-hmm.
now they in the hospital. It's just like, dang, like
It goes so quick. It goes so quick.
yeah, yeah. But it's real.
Yeah, that's real. I mean,
It's just, and do you think that you can have both? I truly, truly don't think so.
both of what?
Both the leaning into home and checking in and doing all of the things like you're supposed to, or leaning into whatever your version of greatness is.
It depends on what you define greatness. What do you find? What do you define greatness is? Like for me, greatness is the fact that I'll be able to be financially stable,
Mm-hmm.
and we still got our car, we got the vehicle, roof over our head, both businesses thriving, and but at the same time, granted, sometimes I won't be able to see my kids when they come home from school or something. I might be doing something, but I'm gonna see them while they be asleep, or I'll have a day where um I won't be at working. I won't be working or nothing like that, and it'll be the weekend. I have a weekend off, and I can just really be with them or during the week or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's greatness to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be asking you the same thing. What would be greatness for you?
I think greatness for me, I'm gonna just describe what I see my peak looking like
Okay.
my
Okay.
highest of highest looking like. To me, that is like top 1% in my field, like literally top 1%. The speaking, the traveling, me getting into media, and having Conquer as a full blown program. That also looks like my dreams is in the clouds, okay? That also looks like
They go that hot air balloon.
my hot air balloon, but my dreams are in the clouds, okay? That looks like me also inserting my immediate family into that life. How that looks exactly, I don't know, but I'm like you, I don't want to miss all of the things, but I think I've accepted the fact that I'm gonna be busy.
Yeah.
Like that's gonna be a thing. You know what I'm saying? My
Yeah.
mama gotta go to New York in the morning because she gotta be on the Today Show, or whatever. That's gonna be a thing.
But
But
it'll be a thing where when you get that busy and stuff like that, we'll find ways around it. I
yeah,
mean, because we grew up, both of me and you grew up differently, but I know my dad, he was working so hard. He was working all the time, and my mom, she was working all the time, but she was the one that took care of us because my
Mhm.
dad, both of them had 9 to 5, but my dad, when he got done, he had to do his own personal jobs in his office when he got home from work. So the only time I really had time to see him was when he was sleeping on the couch or when he had some time off and we go out and we'll do something, whatever. But, my mom was the main person like that. But it comes from experience. So I know how that was for me when I was a kid.
Mhm.
So I'll make sure to figure out what we need to do for our kids to be able to see their moms or the mom be able to see their kid.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do. I feel like we'll be able to navigate no matter what
We'll
it is.
navigate it.
We're not even worried about it. We'll be able to navigate it and come up with something that works for us. So, okay, this was cool. I feel like we didn't even scratch the surface.
I told we should go over like an hour and a
An
half.
hour and a half. You want to keep going?
I mean, did you have anything else in your questions over there?
I did have some more questions, but they are about me and how
All right.
I act.
Go ahead, because I feel like I talked a lot.
You feel like you talk a lot, but that's good. I want you to be able to talk a lot because ladies hear me
Yeah.
talk every time, every week. They always hear me talk, but it's good for you to get a male's perspective, just on how the rhetoric we hear. But it's
What's
probably
the rhetoric here from men? What's the rhetoric here from men that their spouses is in the entrepreneurship?
I let me think. I don't know if there's anything I really consume because I kind of just. mm, I guess maybe I hear the stigma about if a woman is so bossed up
Mm-hmm.
that she's reaching a level of independence to where she doesn't see the need for a man or she can't lean into submission and stuff like that.
Bless you.
Excuse me.
Bless
Oh, thank you, excuse me. So, yeah.
you. No, I mean, I'll say this: like as a man, I know men have needs and stuff like that, but you can't make it into like a egotistic thing.
Mm-hmm.
And no, it can't be like man in the house with my foot down and stuff like that. It got to be some kind of understanding because you can't have both ways. Like things ain't what they used to be. I mean, granted, you want your voice to be heard, but man, we find ways to get let our voice be heard. But you got to let the other person blossom.
Yeah.
I mean, think of this like if you was in a situation where you had someone and you see the potential with them and you don't let them test out their potential. You kind of like stun their growth, keep them capped off and stuff like that. Like I would never want to do
That's
that to
not
you.
love. Yeah, that's
I would never
not.
want to do that to you. It just when I see it, and it's really important. Like, but when I see you, like when you put in the work, and I see how much you believe in the vision that you have, how sure you are, and stuff like that. I'm like, hey, let me know what I need to do, and I'll let you know when I need you.
Yeah.
So with all that egotistical kind of things and stuff like that, we on the same team. We on the same team. Like when we get married, it's not a competition. We all just one.
Yeah.
We all want the same thing. We all want the same kind of goal.
Mhm.
You shouldn't be competition. You shouldn't be competing with your partner.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I just think, yeah. I mean, I think when you got to find the right person and just be willing to work together
Yeah.
because that's just all it
Find the
is.
right person that understands it.
Yeah, and just be willing to work together. But
Yeah.
I don't want to go off on a tangent about that because I don't want to tell people what they should be doing and stuff. Child, live your life, whatever you got to do. I don't care,
Yeah.
whatever. But I just want to share what it's like for us. But And even still with us, this is just me sharing our story, but we've been together a long time. We didn't have to find out what work, what don't work. We don't have kids yet. We bought our house years ago. We got married years ago. We didn't have a big wedding. So many different factors that make our story our story. But I wanted to bring something fresh to the scene because I want to kind of share the story of me doing my business. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm doing that. And I'm still having what I feel is a good grasp on partnership and stuff. So I just want to share a little tea, girl. But I guess as we start to wrap up, I had a question in my head, but I'm gonna let it slip. Um, oh, let me ask you this.
All right.
So let's say in the very unfortunate event that you had to get remarried again, would you choose a woman that was a boss, or would you choose a woman that would prefer to lean completely into her home?
Can you explain going into the boss thing a little bit more?
Yeah, so that would be a woman who has her own business. She's doing her own traveling, her own money, her own company, her own everything. Versus a woman who's doing the opposite. She's really focused on being at home with you, the kids, all the cooking and cleaning and shucking and jiving out in the world.
That's tough because I could deal with both.
Oh, wow. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean because the thing is when you go on to marry, it's when at that point both individuals want the same thing.
Okay.
So when I get down on one knee and will you marry me, and that's a yes.
Mm-hmm.
So by that time, and it's just me. I'm only speaking to me for as a person.
Okay.
Like to get to know me, you'll get to know me, and you'll know me for years on end because I'll still be the same person. It's not one of those things where for me as myself, like if I'm marrying somebody, I'm gonna flip, like I'm gonna change my whole personality. That's just not how I am.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time when I get down in one knee and I ask somebody to marry me, they already know who I am. They already know the conversation that we had,
Mm-hmm.
and they already know what I bring to the table, versus what we can conspire and adapt to one another.
Mm-hmm.
So if it was me, both of
Mm-hmm.
them say yes.
Okay, but I'm asking which would you prefer?
Which one I know you said which one I prefer,
You
but
said you could, so you could do either way.
I can do either way.
You can have a woman that's
But
doing her
I
own
go
thing.
ahead and I'll answer the question for you.
Okay, no, you
No,
could.
I
Okay.
answer. Let me see. So it's one that's always busy. There's one always it's gonna be at the house. Hey, that's a real tough one.
Because we hear about men wanting women who fit into their lives.
Okay. Now let me ask you this:
Okay.
the person that's the boss,
Mhm.
if she's willing to have kids.
Absolutely. And you know what? Maybe it seems like maybe I should be describing two extremes here.
Yeah.
Where's this woman who's like, oh, I don't want any friends. I don't want a life. I just want to stay here to serve you.
No, I'm not saying.
Sounds so pitiful. I guess yeah. See, and that's what I feel like the stigma is, where you have to pick between two extremes, and I just don't think that's real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'm homie. Like,
You homie, but you a boss and you like to travel too, though.
yeah, but I'm not like just jet setting just on some fan for y'all self. It's
Yeah.
very sporadic. It's not That's not my everyday life. My everyday life is
Yeah.
when you come home from work is okay, what do you need? Let's reset the house. Da da da, you know.
So I'll pick the person that's in the home.
Okay.
I'll pick the person that's in the home. Um, but I just by that time I hope we just have the conversation. That person already got something they doing themselves. Got something they got going on for themselves because I wouldn't want to have nothing where I'm with someone and they don't have, I won't say ambition, but they don't have nothing for themselves, something they call their own.
An identity outside of,
Yeah, an identity outside of just being married.
yeah,
Like,
and a mom.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, like, all right, take away the job. I mean, take away being a housewife, take away being a mom to the kids. Like, who are you?
Yeah,
So I would say that person has to have a personality.
because that's what makes you attractive. So
Yeah,
yes, all the homie stuff, but also if I know on Friday night you're gonna go with your little friends from the little library or something, you
yeah.
have a little.
Personality is everything, and granted, I know if that's the case and that person is just that's all they have, more shout out to them, but I probably go with the boss lady because she's gonna have the personality,
You like personality.
yeah.
That's why you like me. You like my personality.
Absolutely.
What you like about
I mean, what Forrest Gump say, you never know what you're gonna get.
it? That's for sure.
You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been real fun,
Yeah.
it's been real fun. Happy Deb, sad Deb, angry Deb, all in one thing.
Yeah.
So it just really, it's been really cool. Just really seeing the all sides of you, all stages of you,
Yeah.
and once we have fun, man, we have a blast.
Yeah, we do have a lot of fun. What do you think? And I'm gonna start to wrap up here.
Okay.
What do you think a big misconception could be about being a partner to a woman that's building her own business, that's ambitious and doing the type of things I'm doing with Conquer? What do you think a big misconception could be about that?
About on my standpoint or yours?
Yours?
Hmm. A big misconception. I mean, again, it's tough because we already like we've been together for so long, but
Yeah.
I'll speak as someone having been in a relationship this long and like we got married and you've been doing this and I'm just getting into it. Getting to your realm when you on your entrepreneurship. But the misconception on my end, it would be like you said, it's kind of selfish, but it'd be like, when you gonna have time for me? And not understanding the sacrifice that has to take place.
Mhm.
So I'll say the misconception would be that, and not understanding what what roles need to be in the household.
Yeah. Do you feel like I make enough time for you?
Yeah,
Oh,
you do.
really?
Cause like, yeah, because like if I need time, I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
And but we you need time with me. You need time with me just as much as I need time with you.
That's true. Because you can get busy.
Yeah.
More busy than me.
Yeah. So you'll be like, hey, we need to come up with a time.
Because I want to color and watch Hulu.
Yeah. Dead and Peacock.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, okay. What you think?
Hey, I mean, I had a good time.
What's cool?
I mean, like you said, we only scratched the surface, really.
I mean, so much that we could have got into.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't even get into like how how like nightlife is, or like being the married person in nightlife. I ain't getting it, but we can. I mean, it's your show, so you just let me know next time if you want to have me on and stuff. We can do like a part two or something like that, or let everyone know. If they want me to come back on, let me know.
Let me know in the comments if y'all want hubby to come back and we talk about him being a DJ, because I was like, that's like being a stripper. Like, just gonna be
Now you
everybody.
said like the misconception of man, like that's a misconception of a DJ.
Yes, you like, oh yeah, girl, he a DJ. You like a DJ, like, girl, that's what we be in the booth with But I obviously know it's different now
Yeah,
since I'm in it. But that's misconception.
that's a big misconception because the thing about DJing is I know, and granted,
Yeah.
it's a lot of people just don't know. because when people go out and they see DJs, they out at a club or something. But DJs aren't just in the clubs. We're in corporate settings. We're at weddings. We at private events where someone's celebrating retirement parties, or they celebrating their birthday, or renewing their vows. And I've been every part of it.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things where if you would have just tell me what kind of DJ I would be in, I couldn't tell you I'll be a club DJ. I'm definitely not a club DJ. I would say I'm more of a private event and corporate. And I like that because going back to entrepreneurship, I have the ability to see. Well, that's why we ain't getting into this stuff. But I have the ability to put down my prices in and knowing what my worth is.
Yeah.
Because you be in the club, granted, it's recurring. You be there every week and stuff like that. But you don't know when you're gonna get paid unless you admin about it, and stuff like that. So sometimes they'll pay you that week after the payroll, or sometimes they'll pay you at the end of the night. But sometimes it don't depend on what level of DJ you are. You're not gonna pay what you want to get paid. But it's a recurring job.
Got it.
But we'll talk about it later if y'all want to have me.
If y'all want to have him back. I wasn't gonna ask him about being married and being in nightlife and stuff, cause I don't know if I want to get into all that on the podcast. I just don't.
Okay. It goes back to trust and communication.
Not with this camera. It's a lot. It's a lot to digest. It's a lot to take in. So, yeah.
So you got like how you end these shows? Like, do you? Oh,
okay. Well, thank y'all for tuning in. I know this was an episode where we just kind of went in, but again, I just want to talk about the idea of us being ambitious and having love. So hopefully, I'm sure hubby got a chance to spill some tea that maybe can help you, girl, in your partnership. Good luck out here. Good luck out here, and then let everybody know how they can follow you online, babe.
All right. You can follow me on Instagram, DJ Nothing Less. That's LEST. You can follow me on TikTok, DJ Nothing Less as well.
All right, ladies. I'll see y'all next week. Let me know down in the comments what y'all thought about this and if y'all want a part 2 of hubby coming back. But thank you for tuning in to episode 12 of Conquer Conversations. And I'll see you next Tuesday. You already know the vibes. Make sure you wake up tomorrow and conquer something. Bye, friend.
See ya.